Hello, everybody, and welcome back again to the 11th episode of The Lab. Sitting with me again here, Brandon Wirrig and Alex Schroeder, who are both holding up 2 fingers and shaking them like crazy. So, today we're going to do a quick little Q&A with Brandon on speed training. So he's just going to sit here and talk to you guys for about 10 minutes on agility ladders. So, hope we... No.
Face mask is weird.
We'll get a little bit more into... no. I just wanted to kind of bring up a little Q&A with Brandon today, talk a little bit about speed training. Just wanted to kind of pick his brain. So first of all, what do you necessarily start off with when an athlete walks in the door and they've never done speed training a day in their life? How do you ease them into the graces of speed training?
Kind of like I said before in another episode, I can kind of get a lot out of like how you move in a speed aspect through our dynamic warm-up. Our first 4 exercises in our dynamic warm-up are like ankling drills. I can see how stiff your ankles are, how weak they are, things like that. Then we go into a double ankling drill, which is just can you apply it with a rhythm. A-skip, how powerful is your hip flexor? Can you keep your toe up in a dorsiflex position? Can you keep your down leg nice and straight? Can you maintain hip posture? And then our last one for that would be a high knee recovery run, which is like a top end speed technique at a slower pace. So can you sync your knee joint and hip joint up at the same time? So from that alone, I can get a pretty good feel. But usually that's why I start Mondays off. I try to get all our new kids in on a Monday because it's acceleration day. Pretty much every court, field, sport, athlete accelerates at some point in time. Doesn't matter if you come out of a hip rotation or a shuffle or a cut, you have to accelerate. So if your acceleration mechanics are off, coming out of a hip rotation into off acceleration mechanics will be off. So you should just work on our first 3 steps. I'd like to break them up into 2 motions. We have a powerful first step, and then we have a fast first step. So there's a whole bunch of drills you can do just to tweak those in a little bit.
Okay. How have you gone about utilizing the wickets with some of your athletes?
I use wickets a lot. Actually, we've made now that we have the space for it. Wicket Wednesday is a thing now.
Wicket Wednesday.
Wicket Wednesdays.
That's awesome.
We have set up for females and males. We have enough space where they can actually get a whole 10 to 15 yard acceleration burst into it, and then we have anywhere from 8 to 10 wickets for it to start shutting it down. So it's just a great tool just to sync those 2 joints up to where if you bend your knee joint too much, your foot's going to go way above your butt, and that's just going to cause there's not enough ground time or enough time because the ground's coming for you to go your foot above your butt, underneath your butt, into a front side mechanics, and then underneath your hip, and then going into that motion. That lever's way too long in a very short amount of time. So it really forces you to shoot your heel straight up underneath your butt into a good front side mechanics, into a good ground contact time, which is why wickets are awesome. If you overstride, you'll run into them. If you don't have enough power, you'll run into them. And then the biggest thing is if you don't have them perfectly set out, which there's plenty of equations, there's plenty already feet lineups where you can just put the wicket down based on age and things like that, whereas you're not overstriding to try to get to the wickets.
Makes sense. How about the application of sled training with speed training?
I love it. I think the biggest thing is people overdo it. There's 2 different things. You want to be powerful that day, which is, if you're thinking more power, I like to go maybe anywhere from 30 to 40% body weight, just working on that forward and back motion. Biggest thing with acceleration is people think that if their feet move really fast, they're going to be fast. Well, especially if so, I'll have people come in all of a sudden, they're like just taking 5 steps to cover 5 yards. But they think their feet are moving so fast that they're going somewhere. It's like, okay, maybe 3 steps in 5 yards or 4 steps, depending on how old you are, how powerful you are. Mm-hmm. So dragging something heavy will force that foot to come through nice and low. If you know anything about like track athletes, the Jamaican toe drag is what like Usain Bolt and them guys come up with. It's just that it's not the foot coming up into the butt. It's coming through nice and low. It's a long lever, but it's a powerful lever. That's what you want whenever you accelerate to get the ground going. And then, so that's what I use heavy stuff for. But if you're working just straight speed, anything above 10% body weight is going to throw your ground contact off. So increase your ground contact time, you're going to be slower. So people are trying to do these speed, like top end speed sled drags, like 25, 35% body weight, and that ground contact's way too slow. It's not mimicking a fast enough fiber twitch to really get speed in.
Okay. So with using the tough tread, how have you gone about using that for distance runners?
I use it more just for working on their gait pattern and then just settling into a speed. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've had a girl go international, I guess would be. I mean, it's all over the world.
Yeah.
She's at the time she was 11 and she was running 17 miles an hour on it, and like all these haters coming out said, "Oh, it's not actually that fast," things like that. Well, like no kidding, the belt's doing all the work. We're not stupid. We know that the belt's doing the work. She's just keeping up with that speed. So her cycle has to be in a perfect position. Her hips have to be in a perfect position. And if you've ever run on a high speed treadmill, if you have any forward lean at all,
it's gone. That
foot is flaring up behind you. It's going above your butt, and you're either A, catching onto the handrail, or you're smacking the handrail or going behind. So I use that thing. It's just especially in the wintertime. I mean, we do live in Ohio. They got -30 last week.
It's a tool.
You're not going outside. Yeah, it's definitely a tool. And we can still work at a max. Your body's still moving at max velocities in a huge range of motion, and it gets us through the winter. Yep. But as for distant runners, I mean, if we have some elite runners, I mean, we got high school kids that'll run 4:20s, 4:30 mile pace. And your average treadmill is not going to hit that. The fastest an average treadmill will go is 6 miles an hour, I think. 6-minute mile at 12.
Yeah.
12 and a half.
Something around that.
So we can actually get our distant runners a very good workout. It's not a mechanical workout where obviously you have a point A and you finish at point B and you travel somewhere, but you're still getting your heart rate up. You're still having to move through a large range of muscles or range of motions, and you still have to use all the muscles you use to run.
Let's go with, so you have a college athlete, and we'll say that they are a sprinter, so 100, 200, 400, and they have not been able to hit a PR in a year on any of their times. What is one of the things that you are looking at first to correct their issues?
If we're looking at 100, we're looking at are they built for 100? Okay. I mean, that's the one thing. A lot of people,
what's your perfect build for the 100? If you were to build a genetic freak,
it's not. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you've got people that are 6'5" that like Usain Bolt who can run 100 fast. Then you got people like Tyson Gay who's not quite as tall who can run 100 fast. I think it's all fiber type. Can you produce power? Are you strong? I don't care if you're tall. I don't care if you're lengthy. I don't care if you're short and stocky. Can you produce power in a fast? Is your rate force development explosive? That's what I think. A lot of these people are 100 and 200 are different races. I mean, you got somebody who's like our Toledo girl who can straight. She's explosive. She's powerful. She's explosive. She can handle it 60 well if she gets her acceleration mechanics down a little bit better. But you move her out to a 200 and 400, it is a rapid decline just because she doesn't have that capacity
to hold on to it.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, it's okay. I mean, if you want to be really good at it 60 and 100. Then you got
okay. So for that example, then that's a great leadway, I guess. How would you fix that, or how would you try to fix that to build her strength up to hold that top end speed longer?
A lot of it's just tempos. I mean, you want to keep moving things fast, and then it's where people start messing up is they overdo it. Okay, your race is a 400. Why are you running an 800? Yeah. your race is 100. Why are you running a 400?
Yeah.
Okay, you can get great work doing 80-90% tempo work at a 200, or even vice versa. I wouldn't even probably have my 400 runner go over a 6, and that's
a big
base
gap.
day. Yeah. And it's not it's a tempo. Okay, you're gonna hit maybe if your split's a 45, your 400's a 45, you might hit the 400 mark at a 55, and then just finish it. Work on your posture, work on your knee drive, work on building your hip flexors up. Just kind of building that muscle mechanic issues whenever you're tired. A lot of people that when they break down, they'll go to shit fast. And it's a wrap. You'll start leaning forward. You'll start butt kicking. You start fighting yourself. You're wasting energy. And then when you see someone get tense, that dude's done.
Would you shut them down as a coach then?
Yes. Final question.
Yep.
Why?
Once you start breaking it down, that's your threshold.
Mhm.
Okay, let's stop there. And then over time, we'll build that threshold. It's like anything else. If you can't bench 500 or 400 pounds, are you going to put 400 pounds in the bar and try to bench it?
Yes. No.
Die.
You just need to get humbled real quick, and then it'll be like, oh,
drop
shit.
your threshold down, work on your mechanics. People think it's like lifting.
Yeah.
You're not going to... Running and lifting, they go hand in hand. You're not going to try to outdo more reps when your mechanics are shit. It's the same thing as running.
Yep.
True. Understandable. All right, guys. That is our quick,
I feel like I nerded
short.
out on that.
I was going to say, man, you were like Rain Man right there,
Yeah.
all over the place with that. That was
I
great.
took my pants back off. You just got me going.
No, we hope you guys enjoyed that quick Q&A with Brandon Wirrig on speed training. We will see you guys next time.